Good evening, everybody. Welcome. This is another night, Wednesdays of going going live, and I'm going to do this real quick and do a shout out to friend of the show Jay Wiley, who made this for me. This little screen here. I love it. It's perfect. It's my favorite color, and I think it's job well done. So Jay Wiley, thank you. As we all know, Jay Wiley is the creator of Wiley Games, and the which makes Fistful of Lead. He's not paying me to say this. I just love his game, as you all know. So, again, big shout out to Mr. Wiley. So, hold on one second. We're going to come back here. And tonight, like I said, it's going to be a paint and chat. I don't know how much painting I'm going to get done because I couldn't find my paints. So, but I'm going to be working on these guys a little bit. I'm going to get her based, and I am going to sit here and putting together my my thing here. So before we get started, though, I do have a special guest with us tonight. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on now. James Wapple, painter extraordinaire. Thank you for joining me, James.
Thanks for having me around.
Yeah. For those of y'all that don't know, James has a very, very good Twitch stream where he will sit there and paint. And let me blow his stuff up because his stuff is amazing. Oh, no, you don't want to see my ugly mug. There we go. So, yeah, this is a little bit of hyperbole, but not by much. Those models maybe took him, 4.5 hours.
We painted these all up on Twitch, all of the done landings. I mean,
so
who else is setting fire to Rohan but the done landings?
Yeah.
We even built and painted that terrain on stream.
So I'm going to go ahead and do some shout outs here. John Longshore said, bought Stargrave and 2 boxes of minis, just started reading the rules. Hello, all. Hello, John. Mr. Beckus from Australia. Hello, sir. I hope you're doing well. He says, hi, John. John waves back. Chuck, evening to all. Evening, Chuck. Old Chestnut. 8 waiting, huh? Yeah, 8 waiting, but only 5 watching. I don't know what the hell is going on there. P-Beck says, no lives. Not quite sure where you're going with that one. Watching that Mr. Shy who is demonstrating all the character configurations. James, living legend. There you go. All the way from Australia, sir. You are known all the way in Australia. John says he is an amazing painter. And John says, I paint like a 3-year-old. Paint the mini white with red lips. There you go. And we've got McMurray. What's all this? Well, we got Mr. Wapple on the show tonight. Mr. McMurray, I'm sorry. Apparently, you're having to work. But apparently, Wednesdays are decent nights for Mr. Wapple to join us from time to time. So don't fret. You will get the chance to hang out with him and watch his amazing paint craft. So I will basically just watch what James is doing here. What type of, is this just a black oil paint that you're using there? Or is this a primer?
We got a few different colors going on here. We started out with our usual, just a brush on primer. Well, I just brush on the Steiner Red stuff, which aggravates Ken to no end that I just brush the stuff on instead of airbrushing it on. But it's always just a simple brush on. What we're going to be doing here is we're going to be taking our magical makeup sponges that we've chopped up into a bunch of pieces. And I'm going to start to see a few different colors show up here. This is going to have a little bit of green to it. This is going to have a little bit of brown to it because what we are setting up, is some more object source light in here because we got a little burning Rohan villager skull right there.
Oh,
Toasty
there you go.
Rohan toasting them horse lords. So you
You,
can see
you,
now
you
it's got
can't you can't go wrong with burning skulls.
I think when you set Rohan Blade, I think you call it toasted oats. I think that's
There you go.
the
Yes.
breakfast cereal of the Dunlendings there. So the whole idea is here, what we're trying to do is some people would say, well, that's just a zenithal. It's like, well, a little bit more than that, because when we put wet paint into this, it's actually going to mix. A zenithal that you prime on there is pretty much dead. It's basically something you spend most of your time painting over. And then you say, well, okay, that was really cool. Why did I spend all that time painting something that I'm just now painting over? Now we're going to try something a little bit different over here. We're going to take some of our reddish colors over here, and we're going to start setting up all of that fiery glue. But we got to start with the darker stuff because, like the old German guy used to say, you must have dark to show the light.
Let's see here. We've got Joanna saying hello, boys. Hello, Joanna. Paul Beckus again. McMurray, America really needs you as president in these dark days. McMurray for president. What characters or characters are you painting, James?
Well, right here, this is going to be Wolfsbane. This is going to be the leader of our Dunlending chaps. We're not going to call them a horde. We'll call them chaps. Yes, because they're going to chap the hides of Rohan quite frequently, I think.
There you go.
And we also have ourselves some of our, here, let's grab some of our Harad. So we have to keep finishing these guys. So these are your South runs. If you remember these guys in the movies, these were the guys that were riding in the big Oliphants.
Yeah.
Right here. So we have a bunch of them. And we have been working on these guys. Actually, I just did a stream on these guys, I think, on Sunday. Yeah, painting some more of these Harad right here.
And purple is not an easy color to paint and make look really good. You, sir, make it look really good.
It's really a fun, especially for these guys here. Let's see, we've got ourselves, where's our chieftain right here? Because he's really got that. There we go. So we have a wee spot of freehand on him too, a little bit of Eye of Sauron. Just keep an eye on you, make sure everything's going okay. Because, well, not unlike our Easterlings. Well, actually, here's speaking of Easterlings, I was just painting this. This was a conversion that we made here. So this was a cheap old Bones Reaper troll. We cut all the rocks off the back of him here, and then we sculpted all this stuff with epoxy sculpt. And I think we're painting this guy up on either Friday or Saturday. We of course continued some of our favorite Easterling freehand. Let's see, where's our war priest? There he is.
Weren't you working on him Labor Day?
Yep, during virtual ReaperCon. Well, our virtual Fort Walpole for virtual ReaperCon. So yeah, here's his base. So he'll be look, he even has a little skelly friend for himself right there. Probably some Gondor shopping mall guard, because that's pretty much what they were.
Yeah. Not to butt in here, James, but couple other comments. And oh, by the way, we do have McMurray tonight.
Yeah, buddy. I wasn't gonna miss James Waffle being on here, man.
Hey there.
That's what the good gravy gave us vacation days for.
There you go.
Anyways, James, that looks familiar. That troll.
Yeah.
That was I think we sculpted that on stream. Oh gosh, sometime over the winter, fall or winter, something like that. That was a blast sculpting that guy.
So, Jay Wiley is in the house. He says, "What ho? Don't play Stargrave. Galactic Heroes all the way. Playing tomorrow." Yes, for those of you that want to see another big game of Star Wars using Fistful of Lead, head on over to Wiley's Wiley Games YouTube channel and watch the game tomorrow night. It should be quite a blast. It is going to be the Jabba's bounty hunters against the bounty hunters led by Grief Karga, going after, well, bounties. So that should be good fun. Old Chestnut saying, calling John a hoe. I wouldn't do that.
What? No.
Beckus wants to know, does Stargrave use D20s like Frostgrave?
I would
Probably,
imagine
but
probably does.
you know, again, play full of Lead Galactic Heroes. D8s, D10s, D12s, that's all you really need.
I'm pretty sure Paul has a copy of Galactic Heroes and just being a goob.
Yeah, that was a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. Yes, it was. And then you, McMurray, piped in with Paul for Emperor of Australia.
Mm-hmm.
John does come back and say yes, it does use the D20s. And John Lexford, okay, James, I hate you. Just kidding. Yeah, you're going to be amazed at what he is able to accomplish here and just be utterly disgusted like the rest of us because, well, he's amazing.
There's
So-
something about
He's already got like a miniature that's practically done.
I think it has something to do with like the tears of your enemies or the
Yeah, yeah.
fallen dreams of your enemies. Something about that. I
The
think it has something-
lamentations of their women and whatnot.
I think
Yeah.
that the tears of my enemies, it's kind of like a unicorn's blood keeps you alive forever.
Yeah. Oh man, he needs to be a little more careful when he's eating Cheetos.
Yeah, he does.
There was one miniature, this creature caster thing that they tried doing like these smoke effects or whatever, and it really, once you put the object source lighting on it, it pretty much looked like a Cheeto. So she was then labeled the Queen of Cheetos from that moment forward.
There you go.
Nice.
And the entire faction was just called the Cheeto faction, much to the chagrin of the folks that had us painting the miniatures for them.
So, just again, real quickly, Todd, if you've got time to message us, you got time to jump in on this. I'm just saying. Becca says, Todd, all legends are present. And he says, oh, look, McMurray, source lighting, just like you do with your World War II minis.
Wait,
Yeah.
the historicals can have object source lighting. I mean, come on. He's like, hey, wait a minute. What's going on back there? I smell vodka and I smell burning. He's like, no, come on. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I wouldn't be standing on a frozen fuel can with a burning bottle of vodka. It's like, I don't know, man. You're doing something weird back there. I'm going to stop this ride. It's like, for God's sakes, please save us. He's going to get us all killed. So, yes, object source. I mean, we did it the same way we're doing this guy right here. Exactly the same. It's
That's
very fun.
fantastic.
We love doing our little our wee little skit there with our Russians.
Damn it, Yuri, come on. Quit messing around.
He's like, huh, you think that's bad? Look at me in this thing. I mean, can someone please save me? It's got rivets, for crying out loud. And
How
it's
many
all-
rivets are there?
No one can save you.
I can't count because my eyes are full of sand. Please get me out of here. Someone save me.
Sand and fumes, everything. Yeah. Jeez.
Sorry about that. That just that's a little on the Twitch channel. You get puppet shows.
Hey, you know
You're
what?
not
I'm good with
sorry
it.
about that.
I am good with it. You know, like I said, tonight is just a paint and chat. There was no topic other than, holy shit, we've got James Wapple with us tonight. That's my topic.
I'm finishing up pasta, and then I'll be painting along with you gentlemen here. Sorry I was late.
No, I thought you had you weren't able to get off, so you're having to
Yeah, man,
join vicariously.
a surprise, man. I'm not going to miss James Wapple in here.
Well,
So,
Jay, you saw the one. I'm sure you saw the Gandalf puppet show where he was explaining why he had no more arms.
yes.
Yeah, and of course, you know, we also have the Umbar ships. I think we still do have the Umbar ships right here. There they are. Yeah, respect the Umbar.
Oh,
And
those
of
were
course-
amazing.
The Army of the Dead just comes along and says, all right, so let me get this straight. You want us to like go across the water here and go after these guys? You know, water looks kind of cold. We've been dead for thousands of years, so how about we stay dead and you go back to Minas Tirith, see how that works out for you.
Very nice.
That Umbar painting is gorgeous.
Like there was, well, we're gonna. I think our next on actually Saturday we're gonna be painting a bunch more 2D stuff. It's kind of a special thing, sort of a 20th anniversary of me actually getting back to painting 2D again, which kind of was taken away from us years ago, and now it's kind of coming back with a vengeance, much to
Outstanding.
her surprise.
Hey, as long as it's just surprise, not unhappiness. Outstanding.
Well, I started doing the 2D stuff just to try and show some of the things that are hard to see on a miniature, right?
That's
And
fair.
stuff like different edges, contrast, all this kind of artsy fartsy stuff that usually is really hard to show in a little bitty miniature. And people really liked it. So okay, I guess we'll do some more of these. We kept doing them, and people kept going more and more crazy for them. And we did Rivendell, we did the Argonauth, we
Yeah.
did Minas Morgul. Where let's see, here's a little bit of Mordor action for you right there,
Yep.
and people started going nuts for it. So well, I guess we'll keep doing these things.
Hey, real quickly, Todd says, "Quit telling me how to live my life, devil woman."
Never, Todd. Never.
Painting with sock puppets.
Been there.
Yeah, right. World War II puppet story hour. Yes. Pegasus, what pasta have you got tonight? Yeah, what you chowing on there, bub?
I did spaghetti with well, it's definitely meat sauce. It's mainly meat, but then I had a bunch of tomatoes and stuff from the garden.
There you go. There you go.
Some herbs and whatnot, some basil and all that. It was also out of the backyard. So I made sauce yesterday before work, and here we are now. Ooh, damn.
Yeah. Speaking of herbs, I believe it's the KFC Twitter account.
Do they put out the 11 secret herbs and spices?
No.
Oh.
They only follow the 5 Spice Girls and 6 guys named Herb.
Yes. Yes, I have seen that. Yeah.
That's amazing to me. That is so cool.
Yeah.
Let's see. John says Punch and Judy gets really good when they start beating on each other. Yes, it is. Especially when you're sitting back watching it, drinking scotch. I'm making some chili crab pasta for dinner tonight. Got to go out and buy some fresh crab. I would knife somebody for fresh crab. Living in Illinois.
Well,
living in rural Illinois.
Paul's got it going, man.
Yeah, he does. And then Wardrobe says, "Yeah, James, we get it. You wake up in the morning."
Oh, Todd, somebody's feisty. Todd, are you a bachelor again for a moment here?
No, he's in the middle of packing up the house.
Oh no, I know that, but he's just Todd's feisty today. Where's Jeff? Jeff's pretty good at toning down Todd's feistiness when he gets.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe because we're just painting tonight, Jeff decided not to join us, which is okay.
I think he's pretty busy too. He's got some big golf stuff coming up. I know.
Yeah.
I think he's trying to squeeze in a round, or I don't know what the hell you call a game of golf, as much as possible. Well, there you go. Look at me learning and stuff.
If I eat too many mini wheats or chocolate covered raisins, I'm gonna be trying to squeeze out a round.
Exactly.
Nice.
Exactly. That'll get you.
So,
what are you painting up tonight, Chris? Some Star Wars stuff?
Of course. Well, I can't find all of my paints.
What?
Because, since I got the new desk, I had to put everything away. I don't remember where I put them.
Yeah, that'll happen.
So I did base Hera here. Come on, focus. Hera Syndulla.
Oh, I thought you said Hera, like the Greek goddess. But all right.
No.
Okay. There you go. She's a Twilight lady.
Yeah. She's the pilot of Ghost on, you know what? I'm going to do this because this camera is better. There you go. I painted up her a while ago, but I just got a big batch of Apache plane, or not Apache planes, but Patchy planes.
Yeah.
Which is a little bit darker than the Mediterranean.
It is.
I like it.
I do too.
I like it a lot. So I thought that would work well for her. And so any of my other characters that I do from that series, it's well, I've got two. I've got Sabine Wren and I've got Agent Callus. I might have to look into seeing how I can go about rebasing them using the Apache plains and not the Mediterranean.
Just toss them right over the top, to be honest with
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking of doing. Okay, we're going to go back to
you. Yeah, go back to
James
Wapple.
here. What's that?
I said, yeah, go back to Wapple.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Where did I
you know.
leave off?
Looks like a completely different miniature because the camera was off for, 30, 40 seconds. Damn.
Yeah.
Look at
Yeah,
I think the operative phrase is always "don't blink."
exactly.
Yeah, it is.
Uh,
I learned that the last time with your spearman that all of a sudden was
done.
virtually completely.
Dave Hall's in the house. Hi, Dave. Thank you for joining us. I missed the
Going on,
announcement. Good evening. Good evening, sir. You might have forgot. I'm sure I have. I've forgotten more than most people know. John says he's hosing off his game collection. Yeah. That would be that would definitely be something right up Jeff's alley.
Oh, Jeff's hosing off his game collection?
Yeah, his game collection.
Yeah,
Becca says all the little news bits about the book of Boba are starting to come out. Apparently, he is going to get revenge on everyone who did him wrong. Speculation Han Solo will make an appearance. It'll be interesting. How long
is Harrison Ford gonna be able to appear in those movies, man?
What's that?
How long is Harrison Ford gonna keep appearing in Star Wars? I thought he hated it.
Well, he did, but he did finally buy into, hey, let's hype it up a little.
Oh, okay.
So, and then John says, I posted up on Discord the video I am watching and what he does with the boxed sets. I think the guys look pretty good. Well, there you go. And James is just amazing. I mean,
continuing to hammer away at all kinds of lighting effects.
Yeah, because within 15 to 20 minutes, this miniature will be tabletop ready for, as far as I'm concerned. And, oh, yeah. And Harrison Ford does like money because he has to keep buying new airplanes that he keeps crashing.
That's fair.
I was going to say, I thought that was the latest Star Wars movie where he just crashed his planes on a private golf courses.
Yeah. They're just going to start filming that now and green screening everything around him.
Just putting it to yakety sax and letting everybody's imagination take over.
Yeah.
Hey, just happy he's able to survive them. He's getting up there now.
Yeah. Well, the first of the sequel trilogy had to be put on hold because he got bit by the Millennium Falcon.
What's that, his dog?
No. Actually, the set damn near broke his leg. I don't know exactly what transpired, but yeah, he tripped or a door closed on him or something and almost broke his leg.
Well, Harry, we're not spring chickens anymore.
No, not at all. Let's see. I think Mr. Chestnuts would be well roasted by now. My chestnuts would be well. Chuck says Hexy has the goss. Hope it ain't contagious.
He does, man. He's been playing goss a ton. That's respect to him. He's learning a system that I'm not even convinced it's worth trying to attempt.
Right.
He was reading out the artillery, calling in artillery missions sequence, and it was 16 steps or something. It was just
Jesus!
Good gravy, buddy.
Yeah, that's more in detail than I'm really wanting to deal with. To be perfectly honest,
greatly enjoy playing Hex Encounter game, but that's right.
That makes ASL sound like Hungry Hungry Hippos by comparison.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Oh, there it is. Perfect. Haha! I found something that I've been looking for.
Exactly. ASL is complicated enough that I'm not really super wanting to learn another system just to play it.
John says definitely not solo material. And then Becca says 16 artillery steps is 14 more than I like.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. We have target, roll for result. There we go. But Paul, again, I'm telling you, Paul, grab a couple SCS games. Either you've got just a standard attack sort of thing and they're the newer games in that series, or they're just column shifts, man. It makes it worth it. It makes it easy and simple to keep up with and take care of. Cannot speak highly enough. I think Jeff and I are going to unbox Guadalajara, the SCS Spanish Civil War game.
I was about to say Guadalajara is in Mexico.
No, it's in Spain too. But again, I think we're doing that Friday. Should be entertaining.
That's cool.
I'm sure we'll get some interesting comments because we always do on there.
Yeah.
He and Todd have both been getting hit by a delightful troll account recently that I've really enjoyed messing with.
Nice.
Yeah. Name is Helena. Seems like a dick.
John says pick up round 2, hammer on the end plate to make sure it's a good shell. 3, boom. That also sounds very Soviet.
Yeah, I was about to say, sounds like you've got the same OSHA inspector as James Tank Riders from earlier. Yeah, whatever.
So when you're at Stalingrad, don't they give you, the bad news first is that, well, there's 20 of you guys and there's only one gun. But the good news is in about 30 seconds, somebody's going to have a gun.
Yeah. Yeah. Exactly. Unfortunately, guys, the men to gun ratio is pretty low right now. Fortunately, it's about to get a lot more favorable. Exactly. Yeah. There you go. Right here, guys. Where else are you going to get that kind of relentless positivity other than with the famous, infamous Mr. James Wapple right here? Outstanding.
I'm still trying to determine if it is actually true that Zhukov said, well, you know what, we really need troops over here. The snow is pretty deep. You guys don't have parachutes, but again, that snow is pretty deep, so out you go.
That's as far as I know, that was a documented thing. It was just he accounted for, I want to say, like 40% casualties on the drop.
Oof.
Because, yeah, I mean, it's kind of like you're just coming in for a landing, but, you're just not slowing down all that terribly much,
Right.
He said,
go ahead. I'm sorry, James.
He said, most of you guys, well, might not make it, but enough of you will to get killed by the Germans and give us some time. So it was win-win all around.
Exactly.
Yeah. Or that's what it is. It's the quote from Shrek, the little guy, the dick, Lord Farquaad.
Yeah.
That's a risk I'm willing to take, or something like that. Or that's a sacrifice I'm willing. Yeah, just some of you may die, but it's not going to be Zhukov. So who cares? Won't be Zhukov. Won't be Rossowski. It's all good.
Becca says, I just ordered No Retreat Italy from GMT. I like that series of games.
There you go. I've been grabbing a few more GMT games here recently as well. But that's nothing wrong with them. Nothing wrong with them. I just grabbed Men of Iron. I think Jeff got Men of Iron, which is like a medieval hex encounter thing, which is kind of nice. And he was convinced he was just going to keep it until it went out of print and then sell it. And then all of a sudden he starts sending us pictures of it like half clipped. What? Come on, man. Now I'm all behind and whatnot. It's rough.
Guaranteed he's got a second box.
Oh, he can certainly get one if he wants one from his buddy.
John says, my new favorite quote, World War II was won with American steel, British intelligence, and Russian blood. That I have no doubt. Oh, Yeah, James is just trucking along here, making shit look easy.
That's what the oil paints do. They seriously do make it. It's been really weird since the last time we kind of hung out. There's all these people now that stream oil painting.
Yeah.
And it went from the you can't do this, that, or the other with the oils to, oh, wait a minute. You mean like we can't actually take metallic powders and make our own homemade oil paints like these? These are
Yep.
literally hand mixed oil paints right here. These are
Yep.
not purchased from somewhere. Those are just powders mixed with linseed oil.
There you go.
And let's see, where's our, yeah, because someone said you can't do true metallic metals and oils. And I said, really?
Oh, for
Really?
now.
Really? So we've been doing this. Where's our Gondolorians over here? Here we go. The most emo guys in all of Middle Earth right here, some Gondors. So we did some nice TMM on that. We got our little Elfie guys over here. So yeah, and boy, I don't have the Mandalorians. I wish I could put that picture up for you. But you saw those Mandalorians that we painted on stream, right?
Yeah.
With all of the interference paints and such.
Yeah.
Those were a blast. That was
Those
really
looked
fun doing
wild.
those guys.
Those looked wild.
See, if I was like good at blending and you know, doing the stuff that you do, even if I was halfway decent, I would attempt oils. But since I'm, you know, basically block painting and then using the shit out of shades.
I mean, you saw what we did here, right? We basically slapped on some dark paint. We took the makeup sponges, wiped some of it away, and then we started slapping lighter colors on.
Yeah.
I mean, it really does. All of that, thinking about, okay, how the heck do I blend this, that, or the other? It kind of takes all the guesswork or even thought out of it, really, because you got your darker color in there, you slap your lighter colors over the top, but they're mixing, so you don't have to think like, oh, geez, how much water do I put in this glaze?
Right.
Or do I use inks or whatever? Like this guy here, he actually started out the same shade of green as this guy, and then I just started putting the lighter reds over the top. Red and brown, or red and green make brown, a dark brown.
That guy was red or green or wait.
Oh, yeah, he started out what's the color? Perline black. Yeah, he started out as this color here, and then we just started to mix the lighter reds in there. The red mixed with that green created a nice dark brown. There was no shading to do. All I just did was add some lighter reds and blend that together. And then this was courtesy of the Indian yellow. Literally just took Indian yellow, which is sitting over here on the palette, put that on there, put a couple of other dark. I just started taking this brilliant yellow pale, throwing that over the top, and it just mixed itself and made its own shading, and that was it. I mean, both of those videos took, I don't know, about like 100-minute long videos or something like that.
Damn.
Yeah. Let's see. John says, I'm thinking James should have an afro and talk about happy little swords.
Oh, we talk about the happy little stuff. Oh, look at the happy little but done landings here. See, now the villagers, they may be dead and their houses might be on fire, but that's what makes the done landings happy. And it's all about being happy.
They're
right?
warm. And who isn't happy when they're warm?
Yeah, they're warm and they're not starving anymore.
Yeah.
Like,
because when you're dead, you're not going to be hungry. So the done landings really were just trying to help them out. That's
exactly.
all they were doing.
Becca says you'll have to join James' Twitch channel. Yeah, he's every time I pop in, you got anywhere between 65 and 90 people watching you at any one time.
An absolutely prolific painter.
Yeah,
painting all the time. It's incredibly impressive.
John says I'm too stupid to do Twitter, Twitch, and TikTok. I think it's the T's, John. I think you have problems with the T's. And then Chuck says it was on the Twitch and Twitter. I have no time for YouTube. Oh, if I was on Twitch and Twitter, I'd have no time for YouTube.
That's fair.
Well, I'm glad you're not on Twitch and Twitter then, Chuck, because I appreciate you being here with me.
Yeah, Chuck's good folk.
I hope I produce live content that is worth your time and effort.
So like right here, we have that dark green. All I had to do was take the same light color. I haven't changed anything here. All I'm doing is just taking that same light color and saying, yeah, we're just gonna chuck this on here, and now we're just gonna blend this all. And poof, there's a cloak for you.
Sweet.
It's all about making. It's the easy button, man. We got thousands of miniatures to paint here. We're gonna make it as easy as we can. I've actually had people say like things like they're trying to make it as hard as they can on themselves. Like, I'm not doing that technique because that makes it too easy. And I
What?
said, do you also walk uphill to school both ways or whatever just to make it more difficult to get to school? I mean, what are you doing there?
It's
Yeah,
not just too easy. You just don't want to try something new. Because then you
Well-
have to admit that I was doing this wrong the whole time. That sounds really familiar, doesn't it?
I actually understand what he's saying, because remember when I talked about these,
What? What about them?
Pieces of 8.
how people just went, certain individuals that we know,
Yeah, that's
just
what I
went
was
ape
what I
shit
was just talking about. Yeah.
about, you can't use that stuff.
It's the
We
end
painted this
of
in
the
those.
world.
Where's that Achillean green that we just... Yeah, the tattoos were painted with this Leviathan blue here. We did this on the Twitch channel. Where the hell did that Achillean green go? There it is. So a lot of these metals here, that's got Achillean green in it. We just approached it like an oil painting. We took this stuff here because it's kind of like oils. It's really highly pigmented and it's real transparent. I just mixed them with a lighter opaque color, like, I don't know, something like this here. And all of a sudden, I think it's like Vulpus pink. This had gore grunt of fur. There was that snakebite leather in some spots. But yeah, that was painted in contrast paints too. Sometimes I'll tell folks, like, you want to get kind of introduced to oils, maybe just mess around with the contrast paints.
It's fair.
Yeah, I like them. I've done quite a bit of painting with them.
I am 110% sure that I am using them wrong and inappropriately and not how they should be used by a professional painter, but I tend to use them as a base coat and then try and put semi-translucent coats of other stuff on top of them. Of slightly lighter colors and stuff.
Initially, people were using them the way GW wanted them to, which is slap as much of it as you can, so you got to buy another $8 jar like the next week. That was GW's primary mission right there.
Yep. Yeah, it didn't really work.
We sort of came along and toasted that a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. So I am currently in the process of assembling my R2 a D2.
For, like, is that a Legion model?
Yeah.
There you go. You didn't 3D print it?
Nope.
Man, like, so I saw, I know you've been painting Twilight stuff. I have seen Wapple do Twilight stuff. I was like, man, I could do a whole army of these folks. That'd be pretty entertaining. Like, green isn't that hard to paint, and their green is kind of a really pastel green too, so it'd be pretty simple. Man, Thingiverse needs to get its mind out of the gutter with Twi'leks. It was just one of those, God, come on.
Yeah.
You're ruining everything.
Yep.
Whatever. Yeah, so that didn't happen. Instead, I just been printing off vehicles and all kinds of other stuff. Let's see here. Chris, what would happen, though, if we just painted... This has been sitting on my painting desk for quite a while.
What are you painting?
Oh, I was painting these 5 little squatty, dwarfy-looking guys. They kind of remind me of Thomas Foss's Kickstarter, but they don't have armor. They just have, like, claw stuff. They look like original squats. What if we painted this thing?
So, all right. John says, do you have one of your Mirror's characters to show?
Unfortunately, the Mirror's miniature stuff, that's all commission stuff, so I don't have any of that. I could try and scare up some pictures of it, but I will actually be painting a Mirror's miniature actually tomorrow. Yeah, it's going to be a Viking on a Griffin, but the Griffin is going to be painted like a Raven because the Viking faction or whatever that this guy has, he calls it his Stormcrow. So, and all of the bird critters have all, even the Valkyrie, have all been painted like they're ravens. So
That's cool.
You'll see a raven painted Griffin or Hippogriff or whatever you want to call those. That will be tomorrow on the Twitch channel, tomorrow night. I wish I had some of those guys. Actually, I just packed a bunch of them in a box to ship out tomorrow.
Very cool. Warmutt's in the house. Hello, Warmutt. He says, howdy, boys. John waves at him. He says, very, very tired. A lot of work and not much play. I'll lurk in the background. Thanks for joining us, buddy. I appreciate it.
We might have somebody waiting, Chris.
Okay. Oh, I heard a pop and then I didn't see him. Hey, Chad.
What's up, boys and girls?
How you doing, sir?
Good.
How's the house packing going?
Well, the garage is finished. Got the downstairs. Well, it's not packed right now. We're getting things cleared out. Like, what are we purging? What are we keeping? Making garage sale stuff that's up next weekend. My wife's already sold $300-400 worth of stuff. You know, like the big stuff, pergolas, and all kinds of cool stuff. So I think our lawnmower sold.
You don't need a lawnmower with a new joint?
Nope. Downsizing, baby.
I mean, you still need there's still a lawn.
Nope.
There's not a lawn?
Nope.
Oh, that's right. It's a different place. I'm sorry. Chris, you think so? What do you think? Do
what?
It?
Yeah.
Paint it? All right.
Get that shit done, son.
We're going to paint this. It's been sitting here for a long time. The primer coat sucked on it.
I'm popping you up. So what ship is that?
You know, I'm actually not sure.
Is it American?
It is American. I think it's the Arkansas.
That might be the first Texas.
It is. This is the first Texas.
There you go. Paint it up.
This is the first Texas. Just about here.
It was the Texas, and then it became, when BB-35 rolled around, it became San Marcos.
BB-35, is this Star Wars we're talking about again?
Yeah, BB-35 is a new droid. It's only the only droid bigger than the BB-35 is CB-1.
So this was
That'd be USS Alaska. That's a Navy joke.
USS Texas.
Yep.
Which is why it's got the kind of weird USS Maine offset turrets for its two main turrets. And then it's got the only two other guns that are really sculpted at this scale are under the foredeck and the rear observation platforms. But then there are other casement guns on here. They're just not super sculpted. It's an Old Glory 1 to 600. 1 to 600 scale. Pre-dreadnought.
Nice.
Cool stuff.
All right. Here he is, boys and girls.
That's not RTD2.
No, it's C-3PO.
Oh. I thought you said BB-35 was the droid you're putting together right now.
No, you're putting together BB-35. Actually, you're putting BB-000.
Yeah, it's fair. This thing didn't have a I believe this was pre that designation.
Yeah, they went back and called it BB-000. Maine was BB-0.
I gotcha.
So, yeah.
I was going to ask if that was pre-Spanish-American War or immediately after.
Texas and Maine were...
so right around.
Yeah.
1892 is when it was launched. Yep. Just weird, but that's okay. So the real question is, I was going to do it originally in its original paint because it's really, really easy because it's just gray. Just gray. That's
right.
it. Like the masts, everything was gray. And then I thought, what if I painted it up like, Great White Fleet colors? I don't actually know if Texas was part of the Great White Fleet, but that is a really... Oh, it was definitely in that color scheme. But
yeah.
That's just a little more... I feel like it's going to be more difficult to paint because it's white and that weird, rust. Snakebite leather should be the perfect color for it, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
That weird color that the U.S. painted all their stuff for a while there. That weird browny, awkward thing,
right.
that the superstructure and turrets and everything on U.S. Navy ships were painted at the time of the Great White Fleet. But I think we'll do that. That should be pretty simple. I'm going to come over and kind of do an entire coat of white on all this white, though. Look at this. That primer sucked. I'm not a fan of that primer, how that went on, but that's okay. We're just going to put a layer of white on here with my fancy dancy technologically advanced palette, aka a chunk of a blister pack. All right.
All right, boys.
How we coming along? Oh, what the dickens is
Yeah.
that?
Yeah. He's being disgusting again.
He's doing stuff with the models.
Warmut says, nice floaty, McMurray.
Thanks, buddy.
It's a condo. Hi, Todd. Dave says CB2 Guam. Yeah, but Alaska is CB1, and that was the joke. The only thing bigger than BB-35, the only droid bigger than BB-35 would be the CB1, Alaska. What period is that ship? We've discussed that. And what are you going to fight against it?
I don't know.
Shore batteries in Veracruz.
Yeah, there you go. Old Glory has a pretty good 1 to 600 pre-dreadnought range. That's pretty cool. Man, this paint covers like garbage too. That's disappointing. This white sucks.
John says, I prime with just plain old white craft paint. Had enough of that spray primer. And McMurray says, hey, Wapple, you missed a spot. Yeah, I think he's got it covered now.
No, Warmut said that. I didn't say that. Come on now.
Oh, sorry.
Using a bad name in front of our nice guests.
So, yeah, so Mr. Wapple here is, honestly, we're only 47 minutes in, and already, to me, he's to the point of, throwing that thing on the table and playing with it. I'm sure he's going to do all kinds of weird shit with the timbers in the back behind him there.
Well, this is our. It's a little bit of Rohan, right? We're
yeah.
burning Rohan. That's actually those buildings were made out of underlayment foam. Let's see, a little bit of balsa wood and heavy gloss gel for the thatching on the roof and for the fire effects too.
Those look incredible.
Yeah, we built both of those on stream, and we painted both of them on stream. Actually,
what kind of foam? What kind of foam did you say?
It looks like pink insulation foam, but it's actually underlayment foam because it's only about a 1/4 inch thick. And boy, I wish I could use my Streamlabs here because I have, let's say I built a Rohan archery range, a stable, a great hall. We built a watchtower all out of this foam. And because it is only a 1/4 inch, it's sort of like a foam core, except it doesn't have all those disadvantages. It's not covered in paper that's going to warp when you paint it. And because it's just all foam, you can shave that stuff down into tiny, tiny little pieces.
How does it flex, James?
Well, it flexes okay, just enough. But like I said, when you paint it, it's never going to warp because there's no paper to soak up any moisture. Because I've got a couple of terrain things I did back in the day with foam core, and of course it all just kind of warped and did nasty things because the liquid got to the foam core. But now actually I paint all my terrain with oils too.
Okay.
So wouldn't even have to worry about that either. Now, basically all the same stuff I'm using to paint this guy was the same stuff we used to paint those pieces of terrain there.
That's very fair. I was going to say, because I was wondering, I was talking with our friend Mr. Wiley about various things, including some 28 millimeter Pirates. Because Thomas Foss, Chris, I don't know if you know this, Thomas did when he worked for the game company that he worked for before he kind of made his own thing going. Flagship Games.
Yeah.
They had a Pirates game. in 28 mil that was apparently pretty good. It wasn't the same thing that the Fistful of Seamen guys used at
Right.
SEA. Man, Jesus. Sorry. Every time we talk about that, I mean, that's why they named themselves Fistful of Seamen. But every time we talk about that, I always feel the need to clarify.
Yeah, definitely.
But so it's not that same game. But good gravy.
Thomas.
Jay said it worked pretty well, and so I managed to find a copy of it. You can get it on what do you call it? War Games Vault.
Oh, there you go.
And then print a copy, obviously your own, but that's okay. I'm kind of used to doing that. The people at Office Depot know me fairly well now.
Yeah.
God, none of this white paint will cover on this resin. That's really frustrating. I think the issue is I painted it gray first. That's my own damn fault. But so I was thinking about, well, okay. Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
So what I'm gonna be using these for my Corsairs of Umbar, and I'm actually gonna make 28 millimeter Lord of the Rings ships so that we could have 28 millimeter Lord of the Rings at sea.
Exactly what I was going for. Was I have no problem cutting decks, right? No problem cutting decks. It's making the outer layer of a hull while still being rigid enough. Well, I take it back. You have a question of you want the hull curvature to be there, not necessarily a tumble home, because that adds another layer of that's really, really tough. But if you can just get the curvature around the edge of a hull, you can forego tumble home, especially if you're doing earlier ships than Napoleonic or small boats.
So this is a piece of, so that's how naturally thick it is, but obviously I've cut it into really thin strips, but you can see it's got quite a bit of flexibility to it. So you could wrap that around some kind of a frame.
Perfect. Exactly. And then that would be thick enough also that it wouldn't look unreasonable, because you could do it with, say, like a poster board, but at 28 millimeter, that looks, thinner than a 2x4. It's one of those that tough work for a hole.
Let's see. Old Chestnut says that ship would really help me out in my Trafalgar game.
Yes, it would. Although if you're playing with 1/600 for Trafalgar, you got a gym floor.
Yeah. If only Napoleon had a couple of exocets.
Yeah.
I would go with catapults with Greek fire, but that's me.
I don't know if that would help him too much. He just needs to.
Right. McMurray. Yeah.
Here we go.
There you go, brother.
So when I was painting those ships for Mantic and the Basilean ship, I painted it in the Victory color scheme.
Yeah,
Someone then sent this. They said, "Okay, you got to have the real deal." So this is a 1/450, and we'll see how this one goes. That should be very fun. I'm hoping it's waterline, actually.
It's a fun. I don't know if that is waterline. That's a fun kit to put together. That's how I kind of got back into building ship models, because I wanted to play 15 millimeter Napoleonic stuff, but all of the gaming model ships drive me nuts. Except for some few out of some lines aren't too bad, but for the most part they look like bathtubs that are all over exaggerated and super cartoony. But there's a lot of 1/100 scale sailing ship models out there that at some point in time will wander around the house with a camera, because once you get up to Bonhomme Richard and USS Constitution at 1/100, they're not small models.
No, not at all. John says I sometimes watch the channel Brad's Craft. It just amazes me that this guy just dumpster dives for materials, and his dioramas look so awesome. Another one you need to check out is, and he needs to do more of this, is Warmutt. You need to do more of your trash terrain videos, buddy, because the stuff you put together is tits.
Yeah, I was about to say you should do more videos about that stuff. Like, we all see the end result, but yeah.
John said, "Oh, good. I thought McMurray was painting a duck head."
Oh yeah, that's not it. We're not. Oh geez. Oh geez, Lou.
Eureka Miniatures sell flat resin decks in 28 millimeter to represent deck fighting.
They do, but It's more fun with a boat. Hang on. Now I gotta go find pirates.
Eureka, the one gaming reason I'm jealous of Australia. And I'm sure even Eureka is trying to kill you because everything in Australia wants to kill you. Even the tiny little miniature koala thing that they've got over there, it can't kill you, but it wants to. I've been eyeing off the Osprey fighting sail rules. They look pretty good. Simple fleet actions. What do you got here, McMurray? Warships of the World. I think I've got that book. In fact, I don't have that book. I do have that book. I don't have that one. I've got the warship book, though. I'm almost positive I've got that warship book.
Okay. I say, are you interested in it?
I'll take it.
Well, if you already have it, McMurray, are you into that at war ships at all, or what?
He went off looking for pirates, I think.
Okay. I don't think he do it. I don't think he does Cold War stuff too much.
Yeah. Old Chestnut says, I usually just borrow a shrink ray from the friend Rick Moranis when I want new minis or when I want to ride ants. There you go. And then there is your Eureka USA, but they carry just a fraction of the main company. Agreed. Yeah, they do not hold up as well when it comes to what they carry. But yes, I agree. Eureka is good stuff. Their models are quite good. Another good model company, and I think they're British, if I'm not mistaken, is Empress Models. They make some pretty good stuff too.
I want their 28 millimeter Spanish Civil War miniatures.
Well, there you go.
And just do that with bolt action rules.
Or Fistful of Lead. I love Fistful of Lead for just about anything and everything.
Nasty.
All right. We're getting this put together, boys and girls.
I thought this was a Cold War book. It is mainly
World War II?
Yeah, weird. Warships of the World. Huh. All right. Well, that's cool. It's kind of breaks it down by ship type and then talks about battles.
Yeah. It's a pretty cool little book.
That one I'm keeping. I was getting ready to say I'd get rid of it. That one I'm keeping.
So it's coming together. Slowly but surely.
Anyway, how about this one? You have that one?
No, I do not.
You want that one?
Sure.
It's pretty good. It's made in the 80s. It's like all the Soviet stuff from submarines to tanks to infantry to. All right, Chris. Better mark that off here. Sorry, not Jay.
Yeah, whatever.
Whatever.
Y'all saw the amazingness that is what Jay Wiley created for me, right? I'll wait for them to come back.
All right. Sorry.
That's okay.
Who's coming back?
You are.
Oh, okay.
You saw this, right?
Yeah, dude. Because Jay Wiley is a bit of a wizard with graphic design stuff. Go figure.
Yeah, and well, he's an amazing dude. Overall.
Oh, hell yeah. So unfortunately, I don't have any unprimed pirates. I have a full crew of them here that are unprimed, not primed. So I'm gonna have to go spray those tonight during my nocturnal activities. I did, however, find a whole bunch of. Oh, I found one unprimed pirate. I guess we'll paint this guy. I did find my old guys. I painted them in kind of colors. So I've got a red crew. Here's the captain of the red crew. That one's actually a Firelock model, the big guy over here. And then just all the crew are kind of red and black. Just because otherwise it's hard to tell, man. You know.
Put those guys back up there real quick. I got you on the main stage.
So
Oh yeah.
a captain, and then kind of a second mate looking guy. Again, that's one of the Firelock models. Firelock makes pretty good infantry models. They're really detailed, which is kind of frustrating when you're painting a bunch. Luckily, they only make 4 scopes every model, or 4 different guys for every unit. So it's kind of one of those.
There you go. There you go.
Again, random guys with red stuff, black pants usually. Always red shirts though, so that they can be, told apart from the other crews that are running around. Again, just more guys and all kinds of stuff. They're not quite Napoleonic, but they're also a little kind of they're kind of ambiguous enough that if you want to use them for Napoleonic stuff, they'll certainly work for like French or Spanish Napoleonic stuff, just not necessarily British. Oh snap, look what I found. McMurray found some pirates. They all are also based on 3/4-inch washers, notably.
There you go.
Because
you have a problem.
A whole lot better than 1-inch washers.
Let's see here. Paul says, I'm about to throw out a year's worth of War Games magazine straight in the bin.
What's up, Paulie? What happened?
John says, no. And he also says, nice, McMurray, referring to your pirates.
Thank you.
Jeff's in the house. He says, I'll pop over as soon as I'm done with the Wacht am Rhein stuff.
Oh, yeah. I think he's on with Clay and Steve playing some big, again, terrifying Hex Encounter game.
And then Warmutt says, looks cool, McNugget.
Thanks, Warmutt. I appreciate it. So these guys, I guess we'll start. James, you're the guest here. What color? I've got kind of a red band of pirates. What color do you think I should use as primary on these guys?
Well, let's see. Now, what are you using? Your contrast paints over there? What kind of paints are you using?
These guys I'm going to paint them like I painted the other guys so that they're kind of unified, But I was just doing normal acrylic hobby paints, block paint, wash to success. I might dress them up a little bit, and highlight after that wash, but I kind of want them to look like those guys, or at least be painted in the same sort of style. So we'll probably put the contrast paints away, and we'll just paint with normal straight colors. Army Painter, some Vallejo, some Formula P3 or whatever. So but the color is up to you. I've got yellows, greens, blues. Oh, we could do gray, orange. Let's see. Yeah, it's up to you, James. What do you think?
I think maybe they need to have stripy pants. That's what they might just need. Stripy pants.
Stripy blue and white. Stripy blue and white, like pillowcases.
Of course you chose white, you sick son. All right. Okay, there we go. Blue and white, guys. Here we go.
How about a dingy gray?
Blue and dingy gray? Blue and dingy gray I could live with a whole lot better than blue and white. Let's be honest.
Yeah, well, see, they started off white, and then...
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, so these guys are actually good at their job. They've been at sea for a while. That's actually a really interesting, fun fact of during that, 25-year conflict that was the conflict between immediately pre-Napoleonic and then through the year of Napoleon, England and France, right? Or France and England. So basically from the revolution until the fall of Napoleon, the easiest way once that conflict had kicked off and started and been going for a while to tell if you were, sailing, whether a ship was English or French, if you were, say, a merchant captain, since you were going to see those sails and those masts and that rigging a whole lot earlier than you saw the hull of that ship, the easiest way to tell was English sails were by and large far more dingy and disgusting than French sails. Because, especially like I said, by the time that conflict started to wear, the French had spent a lot of time blockaded in port.
Right.
Right? As opposed to the English,
Who
who
actually, got out and did their job.
yeah, got to go out and do stuff. One thing that I will do that's also kind of a notable thing about this period is I think I'm going to paint most of these guys with a wolf gray base coat, but the captain, this guy, who's definitely rocking the early 1700s, late 1600s fashion for captains. He's got all the frill and stuff. He's going to be this brighter Viking blue because he's a rich guy. He can afford fancier clothes, fancier stuff,
There you go.
Got all the good stuff, not like these poor saps that he's got working for him. Oof. There you go. There's a log of paint. Good gravy. Doesn't run or anything. I'm gonna have to get some stuff into that. Let's see here. Dirty water, come here. There you are. See, this is the fun part of this chat, right? You've got, honestly, one of the undisputed masters of miniature painting, slumming it with somebody who just found it novel to thin the paints.
We had no clue when we first started doing miniatures. We didn't even know what flash was on miniatures. Didn't even know that was a thing, and you had to get rid of that stuff. We had no idea how to use static grass. We just saw this stuff like, did we just put this on here? What are we supposed to do with this? Because no one was there to tell us. We just had to learn all that stuff the hard way. We had absolutely no freaking idea.
No clue as to what was going on.
It is really weird that we are just days away from pretty much the 20th anniversary of us becoming miniature painters, which is just really weird to think of, especially now that it's kind of come back around again to, well, using oil paints, which last time I was using oil paints regularly was in the 90s.
Were you, yeah, see, when I first started making models with my dad back in the 70s, we used those atrocious Testors paints.
Mm-hmm. I remember painting Pinewood Derby cars in those, but
yep.
Just your regular old artist colors, artist oil paints, Winsor Newton, Gamlin, Williamsburg. That's the pricey brand. These two are pretty much about the same as far as price and quality goes. The Williamsburg, it's going to be pricier, but you get more utility out of it. But then now that we're starting to just mix our own paints, who knows? Actually, what I'm really tempted to do now is to take all these weathering powders that I got, mix those with linseed oil, because the one thing that was never said ever about fluorescent paints was that they were opaque. These things are almost more opaque than cadmium colors.
Wow.
To which I said, dang. So one thing you really don't get with oil paints or any kind of paint is opaque earth tones. So I could take some of these and actually like this kind of a desert color right here. I'm sometime next week, I'm going to be mixing these with linseed oil and see, first of all, are they going to be a decent oil paint? Second of all, will they be opaque? Because if they are, that kind of changes things.
Right.
That changes a whole bunch of things.
John says pirates wear black and parrots.
I do not have a single guy with a parrot. I need to look through. Old Glory has, I think, okay, I don't have a single painted guy with a parrot. How about that?
They also have tight, shiny pants.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That's what we're looking for. That's what John's looking for. That's what everybody's looking for.
Paul Beckett says white paint and blue Sharpie. Easy.
Dog. Paul, what did
He's not wrong.
What did this earth do to deserve Paul Beckett?
A whole lot of nothing.
Paul, you're the man, as always.
He is. John says wood for legs. That's the color you paint them. Wood.
That's
you need to come up with a pirate with double peg legs. That's all I'm saying.
I do. Again, Old Glory has a lot of really interesting pirate characters and stuff.
Going back to the merchant men, he says, I reckon you'd smell them before you saw them.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And says, if you were a merchant ship, I'd fire at anything that dared make an appearance in my preview. Yeah.
That's fair, but I mean, I don't know if I'd take the time to let them get into range so I could shoot at them.
Yeah, I think pirates had a good bit of pieces of 8. Gamble, kill the winner, gamble again. And then there was that final suicide when you lost playing solo. Nice. My brother's in the house. Greetings, programs.
Oh, it's Jay? Jay,
Yes.
hey, buddy.
And he says, nice OSL, James.
Thank you very much.
And then I started with Humbrol enamel paint. My first 2 armies, Japanese and U.S. Marines, in 15 millimeter. And there's Mr. Hex to Hex with no camera.
That's okay. We didn't need to see Jeff's face anyways.
Momentito, senoritos.
There you go.
Quite all right, sir. Quite all right. Take your time. Take your time. Glad you could join us.
Or Hex to Hex. Jeff, I don't know that you've ever met James.
I have not, and that's why I wanted to get my ass over here.
Yeah.
Felt the I don't know. Well, all right, let's put it this way. At one point in time, we were talking to him about something or other, and he was referred to, what was it, James? The Golden Demon Shelf that was just casually referred to in conversation.
Yeah.
He's absurdly good at this, Jeff. He makes us look like, I mean,
I was just sitting here telling Clay and Steve, I said, I was getting ready to cuss. So I caught myself. Okay, I'm not going to cuss. Can I cuss?
Fuck yeah.
Okay, good. I said, this fucker can paint. I need to get over and watch this.
yeah, truer words were never spoken. It's
Yep.
Hi, Todd.
I think Todd might have us muted if he's doing stuff.
Jay says he's a pirate dancer.
Yeah.
He dances for money. Any old dollar will do. He's a pirate dancer. He dances real strange because he only wears one shoe. That is not an original, by the way. That is somebody else from way back in the day. Extrovert to paint, ahoy all. We've got Hexy saying hello to PB, Mr. Beckus. John Longshore. Humbrol and Testers was about all I had access to back in the early 70s. I don't even think they made acrylics. I'm fairly sure you're not too far off, John. Hex waves at John. Chuck says, hey, Hex. And Hex says, sup, Matt.
Everybody's saying hello. Matt's here. Oh, okay.
Chucky.
Yeah, here we are.
So.
Everybody's painting fun stuff. Chris is painting. I'm painting. James.
Well, I'm assembling.
Well, that's fair.
So James just Hex is one of my buddies who comes on and gives me the outlook of a board gamer.
I paint cardboard counters, James.
He doesn't even paint them. He clips them out.
Shit, yeah. He doesn't paint shit. Don't listen to him.
He don't paint shit.
We turned Memoir 44 into a miniatures game. That was just a board game that we went crazy. We actually made terrain for it. And we got all kinds of miniatures for that. Lots of 1/72 scale for the infantry, for all the specialty stuff. And because those cardboard counters, well, okay, you go pick up the cardboard counter to see what's underneath there. It's like, oh, yeah, somebody must have a card that's going to hit that particular terrain piece. So we said, well, if it was a terrain piece, we could actually see what the heck it was from a distance and not have to kind of pick up that unit, go, what's underneath there? Are they in a town? Are they on a hill? What are they on? Because as soon as the unit gets on there, you can't see nothing.
Right.
Very fair.
Good stuff.
There you go.
And it looked way cooler, that's for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Let's see. Becca says, I'm cleaning flash off my SWAT guys. John says, I'm not painting. I'm just shamming for 2 hours. There you go.
Nothing wrong with that, John. Nothing wrong with that.
Jay says Humbrol has an acrylic line now as well. Mutt says, hi, Hexter. Chuck, yep, testers painted a lot of models and then blew them up. Mutt, what's up, Brian?
McMurray, freaking unpunched copy of Ardennes for $50 from Noble Knight.
What? From Noble Knight?
Yep. They have 2 more copies on there for less than that.
Extrovert Payne says, hey, James, didn't realize you were actually here. Yeah, he's my special surprise guest. I remember Humbrol came out of out at $1 a pot, highway robbery. And then we got Panzer Scott, sounds like the new Poundy version of Catan. Oh, yeah, 3D version of Catan, yes.
I didn't know they made a 3D version of Catan. That's kind of cool.
Yep. Okay, I got a question, boys. The door on this thing. Have it open or have it closed?
What is it?
The escape pod.
Well, wasn't it Mick Jagger who instructed us that when you see a door, you want to paint it black?
I don't care what color I'm painting it. I want to know if it should be opened or closed.
I don't know. I mean, are people escaping out of it still, or have people escaped out of it? Is it terrain, or is it something that's...
Well, how I'm going to... Yeah, okay, I just answered my own question. How I'm going to use it is I'm going to see if I can't finagle it into my...
Tantive 4?
Yeah, into my Tantive 4, so it needs to be closed.
Yeah, exactly. I was about to say, that's what I thought you might have been doing with it. So there it would be closed, but if, I mean, you were putting it down on the table as a terrain piece, I'd say have it open.
He has your answer.
It's okay. Sometimes getting there is more important than the answer you wind up with.
Yep. And Becca has another great point. Closed. Because I don't have to paint the inside.
True.
Facts.
True.
As the kids say these days, facts. Again, Mr. Beckus coming with the knowledge. It's like Schoolhouse Rock up in here.
Good gravy. I'm just excited to see Paul start in with Imaginations and Age of Sail now that that's what Joy of Wargaming is starting to post.
John wants to know how much of an unpunched campaign for North Africa. And he responds with, don't look.
I don't.
I mentioned that.
My brother wants to see the pod. Nope.
Jeff, were you about to say you bought a copy of Campaign for North Africa?
No, but I was going to say that the guy that's sending me Case Blue and GB2, and he's sending me a free copy of Spires of the Kremlin. He's already put in the mail. I didn't got the first games yet, and he's already put in Enemy at the Gates and Hube's Pocket. He's already put them, and he said there's a free game in there. He added to that I don't even know what it is yet. But he's already put them in the mail. I'm like, are you kidding me?
Jesus, Mary and Joseph.
If you got something you're looking for, let me know, because I think this guy. It's funny because he lives up where John Longshore does, and I think it's one of these. He's cleaning house. Wife said, "Get rid of it now, or I sell it in the garage sale."
Oof.
But he wants to sell them to people that are going to play him. He doesn't want to sell them to somebody who's going to take them and resell them.
That's fair. That is very fair. Well, if he has a copy of Fallschirmjäger, we can put the shit out of that.
He does, and he wants to know if I want it.
Yeah, I mean, we'll play it on YouTube, dog.
Well, we're going to have Ardennes now, so.
Yes, you want that. You want Fallschirmjäger.
Okay, then I'll go ahead. He said he'll sell me that for $20.
Todd's back.
What? Come on.
Dude, the guy appreciates the videos, and he did see the video where we played It Never Snows.
Yeah.
He likes the approach we take, because we're not doing all this highfalutin stuff that the professionals do. We play
Highfalutin.
we say what
That's
we
for
say.
sure.
And
We're not like a James Wapple of videos. Oh, I'm sorry. Is James still on here? No, he has a pumping.
People
Yeah.
never they never find the Easter eggs that I put in every video.
Oh
Might
yeah.
be,
Are
yeah,
they
might be,
Cadbury?
it might be a little bit of
They're real big.
flatulence.
Oh no. Okay. I'm about to say.
Is that
if
an
it's
SCSD?
flatulence, we've got lots of those Easter eggs. Thanks, Jeff.
Not me. I never do that.
Yeah, thanks to Jeff.
Jeff's never farted on a stream before.
Yeah, never.
I'll do it on Twitch just to
And
see if
McMurray
anybody
has
hears.
never stuck his ass in and his phone inside the dryer to get a better resonance.
Never. Never. Especially not while we were all live. Never.
Or kept the microphone on and took a piss.
I did not do that. That was
Jay
man,
Wiley.
the legend Jay Wiley, because he refuses to use. Yeah, had his headset on. That was just one of those. Good Lord.
Old
for him.
Chestnut says up to 12 now. Word must be out that they have a guy who knows how to paint on tonight. Yes, that's why I brought him on.
Yeah, that's gotta be it, because we've definitely had live paints painting those Ewoks and stuff, and it was just okay.
Jay says one of my favorite Star Wars memories is the picture in the OST album jacket of C-3PO walking next to the Crate Dragon skeleton. Yes.
All right. So I got a question here for James. So I'm looking at this miniature you're painting, and I can't for the life of me put my brain to what it was. But for some reason, there is a D&D game from many thousands of years ago that this freaking image reminds me of something that was on the cover of one of these D&D games with the fire below him.
It's because he looks like he's painting cover art on something that some doofus is going to spend, 40 hours on a computer making, except for he's got it done in, what are we on? An hour and 20 minutes? Yeah.
Yeah, we're an hour and 22 minutes in, and this thing is
insane.
Yeah.
Anyways, I also just super rudely interrupted. James, I'm sorry.
So this is actually this is my Dunlending army right here. These are the guys that I really love them because they have a word for Rohan guys. They call them Forgoil, which I guess translates into straw heads, because all of your Rohan guys, I guess because they wear the horse manes on their helmets, they refer to them as straw heads, which
I thought
I
maybe
find
because they were
instantly
blonde.
hilarious. No, it's because of the plumes and the horse manes that they wear. Actually, these guys were pretty fun. We converted these up on stream. So instead of buying, I don't know, like a $30 a piece metal, hideous, ancient Royal Guard for Rohan, just took the regular plastic guys and we cut off all the bows and such, and we gave them brand new cloaks. Gave this guy a nice little flag right here, and painted all these guys up. We did the same thing. Where's our gambling? Yeah. We just took a regular guy here. We gave him a new flag, a new head, a new cape. And this right here, just this, if I had bought this as the metal figures, you're looking at about $150, maybe more, maybe 160. Instead, this was about $40 worth of actual miniatures. But maybe actually, no, it's less than 30 because I got the original horsies off of eBay. So and now that we're 3D printing, we don't even need that much.
So James, okay, so I'm I have to assume, since all I've done is heard your name and that you can paint, but other than that, I don't know much about what you do. So I'm going to assume you play tabletop. Do you have something that you specifically play?
The two games that I specifically play is Bolt Action and Lord of the Rings.
Okay.
Basically, the systems themselves, they actually have a lot of there's a lot of similarities in the mechanics, and there's just certain aspects to systems that I like. I've been through a lot of systems that I didn't like, and these Lord of the Rings has been stable for 20 years. Unlike a lot of other rule systems, I was playing Wild West Exodus until another company bought it and completely wiped it out and turned it into like Malifaux 3.0 or something. Basically wiped out all the American history from it. So that pretty much nuked our entire storyline, and we just stopped playing it. And I thought, well, Bolt Action, the fluff's not going to change, right? I mean, Russians are Russians. Italians are there. They're not going to, and a gun is a gun. So there's not, nobody's going to come out with a sphincter rifle or something like that. But there's 20 pages of FAQ.
Sphincter rifle. I got to write that into the rules, man. That's
outstanding. Yeah, I was about to say we're gonna have a butthole gun in the next game of bolt action that we play.
And of course, Lord, they can't give Saruman on Horde. They can't give him a Games Workshop would dearly love to give him a plasma gun or some other stupid thing like that. But because of the New Line Cinema thing, they can't mess with this. They're basically trapped into keeping the system somewhat reasonable for humans to play. So that's one reason I just kind of stick with those systems. And I love making the terrain for them. Love making the bolt action terrain. It's kind of a neat challenge because it has to be somewhat realistic, right? I mean, if you're doing Siege of Budapest, it better look like Budapest.
Right.
But it's also got to be playable.
Wait, Todd McMurray, why does he sound like one of us for Hex Gaming?
He sounds like one of us for miniatures games if you would just paint the damn miniatures that everybody sent you.
When?
There is that. Let's see here. Wow. John says, I want a campaign for North Africa. Saw one on eBay for $900. Good Jesus. Chuck says, John, no, way too much. John says, no, it's something Ardwolf wants and was wanting to find one for Christmas. Come on, tact is optional. Yeah, I heard. Had one last century, gave, sold stupid cheap. Never had one, but when I was a teen, I could have bought one new shrink for $50. Hex to Hex, are you thinking of the Player's Handbook cover of 1978 with the demon behind the fire? Probably so. Beckus is leaving the building. He says, okay, everyone, I have to get productive and leave the house to buy ingredients for dinner. Been a good chat. Bye.
Go find yourself some crab, Paul.
Yeah.
Put pictures on your Discord. That sounds delicious.
Night PB or morning. It would be morning over there. Take care, Mr. Beckus. So James is the Larry Elmore of miniature painting. Who's Larry Elmore?
Was really, really good at what he did, then yeah, probably.
It's kind of interesting because I paint a whole lot of Dark Sword miniatures, like lots and lots of Dark Sword miniatures. And guess what? Dark Sword Miniatures has a Larry Elmore miniature line, miniatures made from Larry Elmore paintings.
Oh, cool.
And because, well, the guy that owns that, he knows Elmore, Parkins, all those artists. He also, he knows, what's his name, the guy that did Game of Thrones or whatever. That's why he has the Song of Ice and Fire stuff and lots of Game of Thrones miniatures. But I've actually done several different dioramas where I'll take the miniatures and then turn them basically back into the Larry Elmore painting.
Oh, very cool.
I think I've done that about 3-4 times. I'm going to start doing some new videos on that because the miniatures really do look like the artwork. And I think I did one was some kind of like a scarecrow type thing or whatever. And I actually made, I think it was on about a 11-inch wide wooden plaque or something like that. And it was really fun kind of basically making the painting into 3D.
Well, so there's your answer. Yes, he is.
Yeah. So in short, dear viewer, well, yes.
That's cool.
Geez, Dark Sword miniatures, those go back like Reaper miniatures, the very earliest days of us painting miniatures. There's some Reaper figures that we got they're from the 90s, which at this point, those might as well be, Stephen Douglas and Abraham Lincoln, like, hey, give us our miniatures back.
Right.
Reaper, I really enjoyed when Reaper had just the single one-off, medals for $2 a piece, $3 a piece. Back in the day when they first were coming out with their Sophies and stuff like that in the early 2000s. That was the era of me just starting the miniature game in middle school and high school and not having any money. So while I enjoyed playing Games Workshop stuff, I remember combing through. This is back when Reaper and Cav were still the same company. Combing through looking for Cav models that I could proxy for a Space Marine Dreadnought.
Yeah, there you go.
The Space Marine Dreadnought was, $35 or something absurd. And a Cav was 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
But yeah. Back in the days of before Reaper switched to the really soft plastic that I can't
The
figure out how
Reaper
to prime.
bones.
Yeah, that I
Like
can't
this?
figure out how to prime. Yeah.
I was
I
painting
got-
this the other day.
I got some of it, and some of it I've been able to prime and not have too much trouble with.
Just use Steinerres. That just pretty much sticks to anything.
Just brush it on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
just brush that stuff on.
I was about to say, let me finish the blue on these last two guys' jackets, and I'll show you the latest Reaper thing that I've painted. Oh, you know what occurred to me? This my Conquistadors will work with these guys too if I feel like doing Armada era kind of stuff. It'll work perfectly for the soldiers that were aboard the Spanish Armada. Again, let me get the blue on these last two guys, and I'll grab the. I just painted a dragon from Reapers.
Because this is a bones dragon right here. Is a nice
Yep.
little bendy wing there, but I needed a dragon for the Moria army. And while we're doing the whole Moria glowy stuff, we 3D printed all the dwarf stuff here. All those little bits right there. His little buddy in the tomb, all his little friends, pavés over there. And then this was the Green Stuff World texture roller. All of our Moria stuff is done this way. Even the bow rug done the same way. But this was really nice because he was just about the right size. He was way nicer than the GW crappy dragon that costs a whole ton of money
Yeah, I was about to say.
for something that's not super nice, that's for sure.
Yeah. All right. Let's see here. I missed a spot there. Beautiful. All right. That's the green on most of their jackets. I did
What are you painting, McMurray?
this guy.
He painting pirates.
And what are you painting, Ajay?
I am building. I'm building a escape pod currently from Star Wars.
Jesus Christ.
So this dragon was one of those thingies that got all Wapalicious inspired. I did a bunch. I actually layered stuff and did whatnot. Now that I look at it, it looks like it's just some sort of weird McDonald's knickknack because it's in the colors. But
It's okay.
such is life. He's got.
It could be worse.
There's all kinds of highlights on the scale, the main scales on the wings. The wing highlights didn't turn out super high contrasting. I'm sorry, James. But then did little goofy shit like he's got a purpley tongue that's got a couple highlights on it and the crown thing. I don't know. I was happy with how it turned out.
That looks really cool.
Oh
He must be perched on top of something too.
Yes, on top of something. I haven't built. What I'm going to wind up doing is probably putting him onto a CD, building that up, and then I 3D printed a bunch of little I think they're dragons, but they're a little not necessarily cartoony looking. But what I'm going to do is I printed out a bunch of them. I'm going to put them in a ring around him and paint them up like stone, like what he's standing on, so it looks like it's some sort of stone thing. Here's a 3D printed thing that I did that's got some layering to it.
Oh, that's really nice. That's really cool. Which is that just off of a Thingiverse, or is that one of the specific Patreons?
Nope, this is off of Thingiverse. It wasn't originally, a 6-inch figure, but also the scales were supposed to hang down. They're like, oh, print your own chains. I'm not doing that. That looks fine as scales. It's not quite done. I want to do some more on the white, but it's the light's super bleaching it out. I don't know. I was pretty happy with how that came out. I need to do the snake in the book still, as well as figure out what I'm doing with the sword, get some washes on here. But I did layer on the skin. You can kind of see trying to hit the high parts with stuff. So again, see a little bit on the face and all that, the legs. I don't know.
That worked out really good. That really came out great.
I was happy with it.
So my brother pipes off with, I think you'll find during the Second Franco-Austrian War of 1871 that Dr. Ignaz Finkter of Prague invented a repeating carbine that was used by the 3rd Magyar Hussars.
That's what this guy's got. Yeah,
The sphincter gun.
this guy right here, he's got the sphincter gun. This guy does too. Maybe this
Ignaz Sphincter. I love it. It's an old Bohemian noble family. I always loved the Mithril miniatures, Lord of the Rings stuff. Ages ago, they still hold up just as well as computer drawn. Steinorez. How do you spell that? I think you just did. Let's see here. STYN.
YLREZ. Don't blame me, blame Ken. This was his idea to call it this.
Steinorez. Okay. Kind of like vinyl, but with an ST and an extra Y and not an I.
These 3 things have, this is whatever it is, these 3 sets of 3 letters mean something. I have no idea. Just never let Ken name anything. That's always your best bet.
outstanding.
So, boys and girls, I think it's coming along right nicely.
Ooh.
Yeah, I've just got to figure out what these greeblies are for and how they go in, and I'll be done. And let's get back to Mr. Wapple here and see what ridiculousness he is up to.
I'm eating a gourmet dinner. Don't mind me.
Macaroni and cheese?
Nope. PBJ croissant sandwiches.
There you go. I had leftover smoked brisket, baked beans, and sweet cream corn.
I can't get Chef Boyardee to make that stuff for me.
Yeah, well, such is life. I'm lucky enough to have a smoker. Dr. Sphincter's main prototype machinist was Clyde Spiddly Gap.
Exactly.
I think Janie's here to bed.
Said greeblies are for clipping from the sprue and watching them fly across the room. No, I don't actually get to watch them fly across the room. They're there, they're gone. A second later, I hear tink. I don't actually see them fly. Because, you know, my eyes are old and decrepit. And I need new glasses desperately. So at this point in time, James, you're just adding insult to injury, right?
That's the plan. Again, taking the dreams of your enemies and grinding them into a fine dust, which then you mix with linseed oil, and it becomes a new oil paint called Tears of Mine Enemies.
God.
If you don't market that, sir, you're a fool.
Someone needs to, yeah.
Which always, well, and hey, it works for paint. I mean, look at this, Van Dyke Brown. It is made out of charred animal bones. Seriously, charred animal bones, baby. So
There
that's
you go. They're not being real specific on the animal either. That's what I like. It could be cow, possibly giraffe. That last white rhino.
Yikes, we're getting dark here.
Well, it is a dark paint. So we're an hour and 40 minutes in, and the ridiculousness has not stopped.
Yeah, look at that cloak. Jesus, Mary.
Oh, he had that cloak done in like 37, you know?
No, I get it. I'm just saying, look at it, man.
I know, right? It's crazy talk. Love it to death, man. Love it to death. That's
Man.
now what I would personally what I would like to see is the potential of having at some point in time James Wapples fans come to watch him while he's with us, and they somehow find it great that the type of show I put on, and have them start following me also.
Yeah, don't forget to, if you're following somehow majestically on James's Twitch right now, to hop on YouTube and follow Joseph Arnold.
You're such a dick.
So we can get all the followers that he so dearly deserves.
You're such a dick. I love you. I love you, man.
I don't get it, Jay. What's going on, Jay? What's happening here? I think you need to. It's time for the older, or for the little brother to really slap down on the older here.
No, he is far and away more popular in the interwebs than I am. He's got, if I'm not mistaken, he definitely has over 50,000 downloads of his.
Oh, your brother?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I was talking about Joey, man.
Oh, my nephew.
Yeah.
Oh,
Joey,
well, he's slacking recently only because he's been running a fever, and we're not quite sure what's going on with little buddy. So he's been in not in a great way recently. So
hopefully better. He's a fun little dude.
He's a good guy. And to be honest, some of the videos that he does put out are quite funny. So yeah, if you do watch me, go find Joseph Arnold and follow him on the YouTubes. All right. Good night, guys. Gonna go watch Longmire and Crash. Good to see you guys. Take care. Thanks for dropping in, Warmut. Be well. Stay cool out there. We're finally getting a bit of a respite, but we're gonna get hot again next week. So, well, hot for us, 90s. I know you'd probably knife somebody for 90s right now.
Oh, it's probably about 60 degrees there now. He's got his heater on because the sun went down.
Yeah. So
Now,
I'm talking
Jay,
about during the daytime.
Now, Jay, did you show what Jeffy's showing there? I missed it.
What's that?
Make his picture big. So that was wow. He saw us when we were on a call together, all three of us. He saw me like that, and then he saw McMurray like that.
That's just
Nice.
how the split happened. As horrifying as that may be.
It's not too bad looking.
Could be worse.
My arms are looking pretty good right now.
Good
It was
Lord.
good. That was a good day. That was in the middle of P Ridge, wasn't it?
Jeff, you should have had me like sit up just a little bit. My shoulders are a little.
Well, I need to do some adjusting. I just haven't had a chance to play with Photoshop yet.
Anyway.
Are you too good for your home? Why don't you go to your home? There you go. All right. It are done. Boys and girls.
Let's get some.
Looks good.
So, yeah, I got something done tonight. So, my next box, do I want to put these guys together? Or do I want to put these guys together?
So you got those guys, and then who else? Ooh.
Clan Ren.
I mean, you need the Rebel Troopers.
Yeah.
I'd do the Rebel Troopers as much as Clan Ren is a good. Like, you're always going to want to do that. You know, if you got the motivation, hammer on the Rebel Troopers, and so that we can play this this wild old Tanty 4 boarding action.
Yep.
Because that's going to be fun.
Because I know somebody that wants that to happen.
Yeah, me.
Besides you.
Oh, yeah, you.
No, Mike Burke.
Yeah, Jay Wiley.
Yeah, and Jay Wiley.
Yeah, 2 Action Steve. I'm just going to keep naming people that expressed interest in playing that game because there's a lot of people.
Yep. I mean, I'm not going to lie. I did come up with a pretty cool idea for it.
It is, absolutely.
So, but we're still here watching Mr. Wapple be just egregious.
6 shades of great at this.
Yeah, he is. The good thing is he's not one of those. I just started. What do you guys think? I've never painted this before. What do you guys think?
Yeah, James, can you post that on Facebook somewhere with first miniature playing Lord of the Rings? Open to criticism and constructive or whatever the hell it is. What are your thoughts? What do you think?
Open to suggestions. Jackasses.
Yeah, I think this is actually a footsore. Yeah, this is a footsore miniature here. Pretty sure.
Yeah, I was about to say it looks like it. I've always wanted to do their like Romano British as Gondorian. I think would look really cool because they've got the same manes and stuff on them, the crests.
Because I think I have 4 or 5 of these, and I was using these as the Dunlending Huskarls.
Yeah.
It's easy for you to say.
I remember Huskarls from Age of Empires.
There you go.
Let's see here. Jay says he's got 84 downloads. 84,000 downloads. No big whoop.
There you go. It was like 84 downloads. That seems a little low, Jay.
Yeah, 84K downloads. John Longshore says it's 66. Linus says hello. Hello, niece of mine. Hex says night mutt. John Longshore gives a thumbs up. And John says more eyelash, more cowbell.
There you go. All right, there's some skin tone on that guy. A lot of dudes with no shirts on in this bunch, this group.
Did you tell me to take my shirt off?
What? No, not you.
My pirates, there's a lot of dudes with no shirts on.
I'll Caribbean on you.
All right, let's do it, Jeff. Bam. McMurray's painting with no shirt on. What's up?
We're going to play Ardennes skins versus shirts.
All right, let's do it.
No. All-American bibs versus Speedos.
There you go. At least I know what I get to wear.
Yep, because I don't own a set.
Yeah, I have the All-American bibs. I was actually just looking for those.
Guess I get Speedos.
This is like shirts and skins.
Yeah, but just infinitely
Bibs
more
and
tragic.
Speedos.
Infinitely more tragic.
You know,
Yeah.
odd, even though I can't see the room, it just feels really empty.
That's okay. September 28th, he's going to have a brand new game table.
I want that table painted to match the color of the walls.
It's going to be all set up and amazing.
Ow.
I want slots. I want it trimmed on the top with slots cut in for the plexiglass to slide in and out.
There you go.
I did that once. It's actually pretty cool until you realize if you put the plexiglass in and move the table facing a wall where you can't reach out or can't pull the plexiglass back out.
Exactly.
That's how they get you.
That is. It's how the plexiglass, that plexiglass complex.
The plexiglass conglomerates.
Yeah, the lobby. Yeah.
I don't even live out there, and I'm excited to see Todd get his new home.
Ah.
That's
I
because the videos will be unprecedented.
Unprecedented. Is that when the
Full
president is
video?
not a part of the video? It's unprecedented.
No, I think unprecedented is what Lee Harvey Oswald and John Wilkes Booth managed to do.
Oh, there you go. Yes, nice. Yeah, and
Or
Squeaky
Orwellian.
Frome almost did.
What?
And Squeaky Frome almost did.
Yeah.
Twice.
Charlie.
Oops. Just if we're using the Orwellian sense of that word, just unthinking.
Yeah.
Oh boy. I don't even know how many pirates I'm painting right now in this block.
All of them.
1, 2, 3, 4.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12.
10 blue ones.
There's 15 in the captain. That should be enough for one ship's worth of guys.
I think so.
What are
Maybe.
you going to play, McMurray?
Wapple asked me about the old flagship games pirate game. He mentioned it on the latest BSing with the Baron, and I said, man, I've got a bunch of 15 millimeter ships, and in fact, a bunch of 28 millimeter ships. Well, and a bunch of 6 millimeter ships, and 2 millimeter ships, and 1 to 1,000. 1 to 1,200, and
So what you're saying is you have a lot of ships.
1 to 2,400, and 1 to 3,000, and then some 1,4,800 from tumbling dice. No, what I'm saying is I have a problem, Chris. Is what I'm saying. What I'm saying is I have a naval game problem. But so I said, you know what? I've got pirates. I've got ships. I've pulled out some of these pirates to play Fistful of Lead before. But again, I originally got them when Blood and Plunder came out because I was very, very excited to play that because it looked like it was going to incorporate quite successfully both ship to ship and land combat, which is not something that you see worked together very well ever.
Right.
Which unfortunately that trend continued, and we didn't really super duper enjoy how those two went together in that game, which whatever, nothing against Firelock. It just wasn't how we were looking to play it. So stuff kind of died. Nobody played it anymore in the area. And so my stuff's kind of been just sitting there in limbo, which is really disappointing because I really enjoy Age of Sail stuff.
What? You?
No. But anyways, so yeah, actually, that's a good point. James, if you enjoy that 1 to 450th scale victory, I have a Heller 1 to 100 victory that usually takes people 10 years or so to do as a scale modeler, but I figure I could drive up to Chicago one weekend and
Drop it off.
I have the next weekend off. Yeah, I'll just be able to
And,
see.
and he'll probably have it done,
Yeah, the
2.5, 3 hours.
that he's done with it. Yeah. But no,
Let's see.
it's good. That was a cool find. And then I realized that it's possibly the most impractical thing I've ever thought about using on a 15 millimeter table.
Because it's ginormous.
Oh, it's every bit of 3 feet long, like 8 inches tall. Yeah, it's huge. It is absolutely colossal. That's perfectly to scale. That's how big it should be. It's just holy crap.
Yeah. Chuck says, sign of old age. I'm all ready to paint this weekend. My old D&D figures. I have no idea where they are in my room. Yep. That's why I'm assembling and not painting. Because I have zero clue where the paints I want to use are. Matt's in the house. Good to see Wapple. Good to see you, Matt.
Hey there.
And John says it was annoying. I was sorting the Russian Civil War because I bought it punched and my hands shook so much with half-inch counters I couldn't really pick them up. Apparently that's what tweezers are for, sir. So same with minis, pretty much. Time to find a new hobby, like watching the neighbors from the front porch with flap cap and shotgun. Done.
Whatever you got to do, Chuck.
Nice, John.
Oh, whatever you got to do, John. Sorry, Chuck. Absolutely not assuming that you're already going headlong into senility. I apologize, Chuck. Oh man, all right. Are we on to figure 2, James?
Yep, got to get some of the Harad going here. So we're looking at this guy right here. Actually, we'll throw him on a little container here. We can have some side by side. That's always fun to do.
Yeah.
But we got to get back into the prelays part of this again.
So check this out, Jeff. This is one of the coolest things you'll see in miniature painting. Right? So he's going to prime it black, or is he?
Nope, this is what we call it's already primed. What we're trying to do here is get some colors down here that we're going to wipe off with the makeup sponges, just like we did on this guy right here, because we threw a bunch of darker greens over there and then a bunch of the darker reddish browns here. Instead of wiping it off with the makeup sponges, you can see some of the reddish browns over here. And then we started to put in some of the middle tones, lighter tones, and then you start decorating things like freehand and such over the top of that. But first, we got to get this going. And then again, take our makeup sponges and start wiping some of this away. This is the nice, super ultra messy part where I can just watch people on Twitch. All of a sudden, they just start fleeing because they're just terrified by just paint kind of going all over the place like this. They're used to their nice little neat painting a little bit of this here and there, nice and neat. We're just like, screw that. We don't do nothing neat here. We don't do nothing neat. We do it nice and messy, the way nature meant for it to be.
So this is going to add some depth into the recessed areas and the darker areas.
It adds some depth to them, and the nice thing is that since this is wet paint, when I start adding those lighter colors, it just mixes together. So this is where big time savings comes in too.
So Jeff, he's painting with oils, not acrylics.
Right. I figure because there's no way that stuff's going to stay that wet that long.
Yeah.
Actually, I believe it or not, I do this with acrylics too. Now, of course, your time frame is a little more compressed. You don't have quite the amount of time to work with it as you might with the oils, but it is kind of the same idea, throwing this stuff on there and then just wiping it away like we're going to do right now. We got look at this, everybody's favorite hummus right here, sponge hummus. It's very nutritious, real good for you. It's got lots of fiber in it. And what this does is
Coming with the jokes.
I'm too focused to laugh.
Jeffy stopped eating even.
Come on.
Look at him. He looks like a little kid standing in the the window of a store.
Yep.
Found a peg leg guy, Chris. Here you go.
There you go.
Wow.
But this is one of the parts that it's just tough for people to get past this fact that it's this messy right now. They just they want it to all be nice and neat every step of the way, and we just say the hell with that. We're not being neat. We got to get stuff done.
Yeah, see, I looked away for a minute again, and
Yeah, he's halfway to tabletop.
yeah, and it's blue already. I thought I was going to look back up during the wipe-off phase. Nope, missed it.
Now, John or James, will you get to a certain point where you stop applying and let this thing dry out, or you just work the whole thing wet?
I just generally go till they're complete, just like this guy right here. Now, when I'm doing stuff in my video tutorial series, there's 5 episodes there. Even if I was to just work continuously, the paint would still dry, because for me, the oils take about 8 to 12 hours to dry. But when I'm doing those kind of things, I just basically plan on it drying. So here's another one of the Army painting series. We'll put some colors on, and we'll just again plan for it to dry, and then I can actually do even more glazing with the oils, because what's underneath is already dry, so it's not going to be messing with what's underneath. Things like Yep, he's looking at you, keeping an eye on you all night long. And here's another one. We just did this. This was all in one stream right there. And of course, it's really handy for really big stuff. Well, like this guy over here. And as a size comparison, so I think we painted this in about 7.5, 8 hours or so, start to finish. Because again, the oils let you get all these really nifty blends. There's all the magentas and stuff just in his face. Even here we got magenta. There's colors that you can mix together so easily with the oils, like even magenta and green. You got a cooler green here, because you're blending it on the spot. You don't have to say, well, what colors do I need to mix with the grayish to get the magenta lighter? You don't have to worry about that. You take a lighter magenta color, you slap it on there. You take just a brush that has no paint on it, and then you just kind of do some blending on that. I know we've got our here's our Uhura bust over here, same thing, just slapping the colors on there, able to do a nice little space cape with the oils too. And actually, this is something we sculpted here. So we sometimes I'll sculpt stuff on stream. We sculpted this Aowen bust here, and then painted this up the next day. That was very fun. And here's a couple that we did. So the advantage here again, this was all done in one session, probably about 5.5, 6 hours or so. And all of the translucency here, really easy to get, because we did the same, slapping on a lot of darker colors, wiped some of them away, and then we started to paint some of the skin tones into that darker color. So it was blending on its own. There was no need to blend anything here. It just kind of happened. And then once all that was blended, then I just sort of superimposed the lace pattern over the top of that. And it was the same deal here on the Dark Queen Schmaladriel. So there's Loot Studio Schmaladriel, and that is Printing Goes Ever On Schmaladriel, Dark Schmaladriel, that is. Just like we call this Schmandorf right here. Yeah, this is Gandalf's much tougher and older big brother right here. Love doing the object source lighting, just adds so much. And then here's our Saruman. We did these both on stream, and none of that texture is actually on there. That's all painted on with the oils.
Wow.
Basically kind of stippling various colors every so often, doing a little bit of a blend on them just to make them a little bit softer, and then kind of superimposing the next layer over the top. And I can actually do this because I'm using my XSplit. Yes. Okay. So one of our cave trolls right here, when you take the color away, you don't see quite so much of the object source lighting, because we talk about this all the time. One of the biggest things that people forget about is that they think value is the only contrast. Well, here you got this really bright orange and a really subdued green. Cooler green, warmer orange, not intense, very intense. So all that object source lighting is not all that much lighter. It's just that the color is more intense and warmer. And these are the little kind of games that I like to show people with the, that's why I was so glad I could actually have my camera controls for this, because normally we don't get to do that. Of course, it was really fun when I was painting, for Anniversary of Midway. I was painting up Richard Best's Dauntless, and we made it black and white like that, which was really fun. It was like you could practically hear the movie tone news playing in the background. That was really fun.
Wow. Extrovert Paints chimes in with, can confirm James's method. Followed his tutorial on a few Italian tanks, and it works better than acrylics. I became a Patreon of his right after. So, And then John says, if anyone is looking for lock and load games, I use a coupon code LNLP labor on a Space Infantry order, and 155 bill became 101, so like 33% off. Yep, they're I think they're running that through the end of this week. I think. So, well, boys, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but we've been rolling for 2 hours and 5 minutes, and watching just James do his amazing stuff and sitting here in awe.
Accurate.
But some of us do need to get up early in the morning to go to work. Make sure those camels get fed.
Yeah, and the G-Pig, man.
Yeah.
The G-Pig gang.
So we are going to go ahead and wrap it up here. If James has any parting words he'd like to impart upon us.
I just maybe give the oils a shot. You don't necessarily have to do it like this, full blast for the entire thing. Maybe just give it a shot on pieces of terrain, a little bit here and there. Give it a shot, see if you like it. You can kind of strip with just basic colors. You don't need lots of fancy. Ultimately, you need a lot less paint, and it costs less. It will save you money in the end.
Yeah. So, and if y'all liked what you saw tonight, definitely go over and check out his Twitch streams. It seems like he's on quite a bit in the evenings.
Stream it again tomorrow.
Well, there you
Tomorrow
go.
night, Friday night, and Saturday.
All right. Well, tomorrow night you got a choice of shows. You can either go watch Mr. Waffle paint and really dive into what he's doing and talking with his viewers, or you can go over to Jay Wiley's stream and watch him and Two Action Steve and Old School Ken playing some Star Wars Fistful of Lead. So you've got plenty of options to watch tomorrow night. And then, of course, next Wednesday, we'll be back here. Not sure what we're going to talk about. We'll figure something out. But again, thank you one and all for being here. Thanks, everybody, for staying and watching for as long as you did. It becomes mesmerizing, and you just get sucked in watching him do his craft. And that's the only word I have for what he does. It's truly craftsmanship. So, James, thank you for coming over tonight. I truly appreciate it. You are welcome anytime to take over the show and paint.
Thanks for having me on. It was a blast.
Thank you. So, Hex, thanks for coming on and hanging out with us. Todd, thanks, sir.
Thank you.
McMurray, always fun to have you. Glad you're here.
Oh yeah.
So,
Sorry the Texas didn't work out. We'll get to it. I think I'm just gonna respray the whole thing white.
there you go. That sounds good. All right. So until the next time, we'll see you on the flip side.
See ya.
See ya.